I'm not Mitch Connor, and once again, I frickin' record a video without my mic on. So now I'm even more mad than I was. Because, see, I highly recommend watching this speech discussion at the University of Massachusetts featuring Milo Yiannapoulos, the dangerous faggot. And by the way, he does not mind if you call him that. He's British. He's right-wing, and that does not mean he's a fascist. Those aren't automatically equatable. And he's very gay. And flamboyantly gay, in fact. Oh, yeah, and he's also like the head editor of the London offices of Breitbart.com. Okay. Christina Hoff, I always forget I didn't put her, Sommers. I didn't put her whole last name in the search. Who has this channel, American Enterprise Institute. She is a Democrat. Lifelong Democrat, who is basically a second-wave feminist, and who, well, does not really like this third-wave progressivism and feminism that is just freaking insane. And then you got Steven Crowder on the stage, who, by the way, is not a liar, as far as I can tell. And this picture is concerning this little scene right here, which, by the way, it doesn't take much to search it out and see the full video, because this fucking idiot or liar called the Amazing Atheist, who has about 860,000 subscribers, tried to say that Steven Crowder started this. When in actuality, if you watch the video, he turns around and the camera pans slightly away, but not too much to know that Crowder was stayed turned around with his back to the man, and the man either tried to tackle him or throw a punch at the back of his head, missed, fell down, got up, and started throwing punches at Crowder to his face. Numerous punches. But this Amazing Atheist asshole, like, the video that Crowder originally showed on his channel and that was on Fox was slightly cut. So the Amazing Atheist pulls only part of what was cut out. And then Crowder puts up all of what was cut out. He put it uncut. And you can clearly see what I just stated to you. You're welcome to look that up. But I just want to make that clear that I don't see any reason to see this guy as a liar. And I've read a number of his articles on louderwithcrowder.com. And particularly about like feminism and progressivism. And they're very good. Okay. And this is what they talk about. The insanity. See, this for me started... it's not like I've never looked into feminism and progressivism. I don't like where it's gone either, to the point where it pisses me off, because I see fascism coming, or totalitarianism, or whatever you want to call it, okay? Whatever catch-all term you want to call it. And it very much bothers me. And these three just present a great case, all the while getting heckled by people calling them... Actually, I wouldn't say heckled, but disrupted by people calling them racist, seemingly at every turn, for saying nothing that's racist at all. And it's just, it encapsulates very well what I've been studying over the last few months, or one of the main things I've been studying. Which all started with this friend at work 6 months to a year ago. She told me about this whole Gamergate thing, and if you didn't know, I'm a gamer. But she told me about it, and I didn't really look into it too much at the time. You know, I just really didn't care because, I figured it was just some bullcrap. But in actuality, well, about a month ago, I came across some information just in the sidebar. I'm just like, I'm bored. I'm just going to listen to this, see what's going on there. And so I started looking more and more into it, and I had seen one video of this woman's where she was trying to do some crowdfunding for this tropes versus women video game videos, which were a bunch of bullshit when she actually finally published them. And this was at the friend's request, and it's like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. But then I come back a month ago or so and find out this woman is a lying fucking cunt businesswoman. It's a business. She's a liar. She's a fraud. Complete fraud. And you're welcome to look into that yourself, because I did not go into it assuming that this was the case. People such as Sargon of Akkad made a crap ton of videos about this woman, Thunderfoot too, this guy right here. And Amelia Yiannapoulos has talked about her a lot, and numerous others as well make videos about her. And, well, she is just one hell of a fraud. And she closes the comment, yeah, it doesn't even matter. You want to look into her, look into her. Okay. The point is that it just... I knew feminism was a bad thing. I mean, my life was ruined because of feminism, thanks to feminism, to be honest. But that's another story for another day that I'll probably never tell on YouTube. But it doesn't mean I hate women, not in the least bit. I don't like feminists. I hate the ideology of feminism. But to hate an ideology is not to necessarily hate a person. So discern for yourself there. But I knew there was bad stuff going on, but it's just, I don't know. It wasn't really hitting me how bad it is getting, especially at universities. Okay. It is getting so freaking bad, and it needs to stop. Not in the sense of censorship, but in the sense of free market of open ideas will destroy this freaking ideology. And very easily, except for the few zealots who are just filled with doublethink and self-interest. See, something I've been saying for about 15 years, since I was about 20 years old. You control the ideas in one's head, you control them. If you control the ideas in the masses' heads, you control them. These sort of ideas... I mean, just, when I was a teenager in the 90s and the PC crap came out, and I was just like, this is verbal fascism. You know, and then I read 1984 when I was like 17 years old, and I'm like, PC, Newspeak is PC. Though I like the South Park connotation. PC really means pussy crushers, because they're just doing it to get laid. The dudes are. See, if these psychotic progressives are actually able to destroy individual merit, if they're actually able to destroy this as a construct in society, then Western society is done for. I mean, I doubt anybody that's going to see this video doesn't live in Western society. Whether it's Europe, United States, Australia, okay. Look at other countries other than the countries I mentioned. Japan, let's add Japan, because they adopted Western culture. For the most part. The rest of the world, in comparison, is a freaking shithole. Is it not? I mean, you want to live in a shithole, or do you want to live in a country of prosperity? Regardless of what the globalists are doing, America's still, in comparison, a country of prosperity. So is Europe in comparison. So is Australia. In comparison to China, Russia's moving up. Good for them. China seems to be moving up, but it's really only because they got 1 billion people, and they're still, per capita, not doing that great. India, I've heard from people who went there directly, it's a fucking shithole. Africa, much of it's a shithole. Middle East, much of it's a shithole. And all these freaking progressives, they try to make it seem like this country is so bad, and it is not that bad. All this crap contributing to mass shootings, all this crap's contributing to murder, all the races. No. Exaggeration. Showing a minority problem and making it out to be a majority problem. It is a bunch of garbage. By God, I could even make an argument, a rational argument, that even the Patriot Act ordeal has not been that bad. 15 years now, is it a totalitarian country exactly? Not quite. No, actually, it's still quite a far ways off. And yes, 15 years ago, or almost 15 years ago, I actually read quite a bit of the Patriot Act. I don't think there's barely anybody who's ever read the whole thing, but I read a lot of excerpts that I'm just like, what the hell? This could be really, really bad. But it really hasn't been that bad. And a big part of the whole promotion of the idea that it's been so bad has actually been from progressives. A big part of that has been from the progressives, making things out to be worse than they are. Well, how many of you have been, searching all sorts of conspiracy theory stuff, okay? And how many of you that have been doing that are in an internment camp or something? Doesn't mean it can't happen someday, but has it happened? 15 years on? Nope. Yeah, there's atrocities that go on in war, and no, these wars are not just. Oh well. I don't want to see innocent people hurt either, but there's more than just one side to all of this too. But that's for another video. The point here is progressivism, and I can't believe that some people equate conservatism to being a fascist. I really can't. Because who is it that's trying to suppress free speech in this country and has been for about 20 years? Progressives. Not. Now, you could say George Bush a little bit with certain things that he said. You probably know what I'm talking about. But overall, it's pretty much progressives, and especially radical progressives. Okay. Not that there isn't radical, they're not conservatives. They may be supposedly right-wing, though I don't buy that. I call them left-wingers anyways because they basically believe in fascism, which is just another form of totalitarian government, and the left wing is big government, right wing is extreme right wing is absence of government, according to my understanding. But even with, douchebags such as Mitch McConnell, I do think Mitch McConnell's a douchebag. I most certainly do. But I really haven't seen him outwardly for suppressing free speech. Maybe in the sense of what's going on with the GOP right now and Trump, and there's a lot to that story of the suppression of Trump. And by the way, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm probably going to vote for the guy because he's the only one that has a chance of not being a globalist. All the rest are 100% globalist. Trump, I just want to show you something, okay? He is not an ideologue. You have to understand this. If you have been paying attention to him, you would know that he is not an ideologue. Even on Israel. And I say that to my buddy Kosa. I like you, dude. And I don't know if you ever been to Donald Trump's YouTube channel where he describes his policy towards Israel, which is basically he wants to broker a peace deal. Sounds fair to me. At least for now. Yeah, we can argue about the whether Israel should exist or not. And no, I don't think so. But it does. And a peace deal would be a good thing. And that sort of rhetoric is not a bad thing. Now, rhetoric is not action, which is why I don't say I support Trump. I like his rhetoric, for the most part. But I want to focus on this transgender bathroom thing. Here's his actual quote from this Politico article. Listen carefully and read along, okay? These are his words. Oh, I had a feeling concerning transgender bathrooms. Oh, I had a feeling that question was going to come up, I will tell you. North Carolina did something that was very strong. In reference, by the way, to the banning transgender bathrooms, okay? It's a very strong move, he's saying. And they're paying a big price. There's a lot of problems. Leave it the way it is. North Carolina, what they're going through with all the business that's leaving, all the strife, once again, all the business that's leaving, all the strife, and this is on both sides. Leave it the way it is, he said, referring to companies that have canceled plans to move or expand businesses in the state as a result of the law, which bans transgender individuals from using a bathroom that does not match their gender at birth. There have been very few complaints the way it is, he said. People go. They use the bathroom that they feel is appropriate, Trump said. There has been so little trouble. And the problem with what happened in North Carolina is the strife and the economic. I mean, the economic punishment that they're taking. Let's say that again. Economic. Say it with me. Economic. Sorry, I don't mean to talk down to people, but that's actually directed at some fucking idiot who calls himself Jeff C. of Free Radio Revolution, formerly. now known as New World Agenda. So, do you understand that Trump is not an ideologue? He's a businessman. He knows economics. Period. Okay, haven't you noticed that he's... Look at Hillary Clinton, look at Bernie Sanders, look at Ted Cruz. They are ideologues, flat out, simple. Okay? Take the stance of abortion in Trump. Okay. He changed his story like 3 times or whatever, changed his opinion on it 3 times, if not more, if you count over the years. Because he's not an ideologue. Okay? Yeah, he had some backlash, so he probably tried to change his wording and shit, okay? It's because he's trying to win. Doesn't mean he's a straight-up liar or something, you know? He just doesn't understand the ideology the left and right hold on this subject, okay? Which, by the way, neither of them are right. The Bible does not support the anti-abortion stance. And the anti-abortion stance, or the pro-abortion stance, has its roots in eugenics. So basically, it comes down to personal choice. And there should be safe ways to do it, but it should not be encouraged. Okay, it should not be promoted. So both sides are sick in the head on it, okay? But that's just, an example of how Trump's not an ideologue. And if you've been paying attention, there's many others, okay? He's a businessman. He wants economic prosperity for this country according to his rhetoric. Rhetoric is an action, but as far as his rhetoric goes, and as far as the way that all of the left and right political establishment are attacking him, and even the freaking Republicans with their super PACs have spent more money than Trump has on his own freaking campaign to trash Trump. You think they'd really do that? If he was plant or whatever, okay, he'd be just destroying his own campaign. But yet he keeps growing in popularity and growing and growing, okay? There's haters too, but he's worth taking a risk on, in my opinion. The others aren't, because they're 100% globalists, CFR scum. And Trump talked to Richard Haas of the CFR. So what? Does that mean that he is automatically going to be their bitch? No. All he had to say was about the meeting was he was a charming man. And that's probably what Haas was going for. Being that, if I have to work with this guy, well, I better fucking charm him. So maybe he'll actually listen to me concerning foreign policy. Any other assertion about that meeting is pure speculation. Nothing more, nothing less. So be careful who you listen to, especially amongst so-called truthers. Even they're trashing the only potential hope, especially the American ones, are trashing the only potential hope they have to change this frickin' sick government, okay? And change it peacefully, in a restorative manner. Not revolutionary. Revolution usually entails violence, and that is bad. It needs to come from the inside out. And we have a chance with Trump. You understand that? This is a guy that goes up there without a script, self-funded in his campaign, speaks his mind, and doesn't care about criticism all that much. Barely at all does he care about criticism. People call him racist. Well, he's not saying anything racist. All he's doing is speaking for the what might be called the silent majority in this country, who knows where a lot of the real problems come from and have known for a long time. And he doesn't speak out about the Federal Reserve. Well, a tiny bit he has. Only a tiny bit, but, that probably wouldn't be such a good idea to just straight up speak out about it and start talking shit, would it now? And if you are a so-called truther, don't expect him to know everything you know. See, that's the thing that people miss. It's like they take this grand conspiracy way too far. This grand conspiracy idea way too far. I mean, I even saw this video by this freaking Black Child channel, the Black Child, and trying to say he's a Mason with scant evidence. One little fucking handshake. I've been caught in that handshake before, and I'm not a Mason. I was at my cousin's recent funeral. And it was the way the man shaking my hand shook my hand. So what? It's probably some record of him being a Freemason if he is, okay? Maybe look up that. I don't know, all I see is ridiculousness. And it just, I'll go with Red Pill Philosophy's slogan on his t-shirt. Trump, finally someone with balls.